In the Stars is the third installment to Star Wars Visions Volume 2, written and directed by Gabriel Osorio and animated by Punkrobot. So to begin with, the most important thing I think to note is Gabriel Osorio. He is Chilean, and in the studio he worked with is also Chilean, and they take those themes, especially from colonization, and apply it to this short. The animation music is beautiful, but those only are in service of the story they are telling. Countless times in Star Wars, we've seen the Empire come in and exploit the planets for resources and exterminate. But oftentimes we're seeing that stuff. Mainly, we see that from the perspective of the Rebel Alliance. So we see, our heroes, whether Carl, Luke, anyone else, come in and see the Empire exploiting. But often enough, we don't get to see it from the people who are being exploited, whose planet is being destroyed by the Empire. The closest, in many ways, was Star Wars Rebels with Ezra and Lasal. We got to see the Empire real exploitation of Lasal from Ezra's perspective, but even then, he was the story did pull him out of Lasal. In the Stars is a story about two sisters, the last of their kind, and basically the Empire has taken over the planet, exterminated, committed genocide against their entire culture, and has polluted their planet, taken all the clean water, everything. And the connection to their culture has been lost. The younger sister still has more of that, the child instance, but the older sister has become basically more focused on survival than anything else. And both of them most especially the older sister, has lost sight of their culture. The younger one has lost sight, but not in the same way. It's more of she lost sight because her sister lost sight and she's not fully able to connect. And only through the course of the story, once the older sister realizes once again, awakens her own nascent force abilities that she probably has been suppressing and trying to survive, that both sisters are able to fully reconnect with the culture. The younger sister always had it, but you could tell it was being held back because the older sister was holding back, and showing that bond, the familiar and family bond that helps preserve many cultures. Like I mentioned earlier, the director and writer, he's Chilean, and Chile, like so many other countries, was founded by basically as a colony of another empire. In this case, Chile came from the Spanish Empire, and the Spanish exterminated many of the native inhabitants or forced them to assimilate into their own culture. The story of colonization in the real world is a story of imperialism and the extermination of other cultures. Many cultures have done it, and many cultures have been the victim of it. To list them all would be, well, probably would be good just to dedicate like a whole video series to it because there's so many. But this show, of the three I've watched so far, might be my favorite. I don't think I can fully articulate why, but I think it has something to do with the story that they chose to tell, how being a simple personal story, and how by these two sisters sticking together and especially the older sister, realizing what was important, that they were able to save each other, but also to end the Empire's occupation of the planet. Well, hopefully. Things don't always end with a happy ending, but this episode did end with a happy ending. The pollution cleared miraculously quickly, by the way, but were the force, and they were once again able to see the stars, and the stars is where they believe all their ancestors go after they pass away. And the most important one to all of this is their mother, who was a force sensitive member of the society, who led a rebellion against the Empire, but ultimately failed because of the Empire's strength. And actually, I think the reason why the two sisters succeeded is because the Empire was overconfident after defeating their mother. I'm just going to say, I think some overconfidence played a role. Like, really? These people, we can take them easily. While that was not shown, that's probably the attitude the Empire had. And because the Empire, took the easy option to defeat them. Didn't, try to, outmaneuver them or anything, like use tactics, just throw Imperial troops and equipment at it and hope for the best. Well, guess what? The Force was on the side of the two sisters, and they succeeded. They destroyed the Imperial base / factory, and the world began to heal. I think that is just such a good ending. And should I even mention how beautiful the animation was? So I first thought this was stop motion animation, but it turns out they made clay sculptures and then they scanned them in, and so it's essentially they animated the scans, the 3D scans of the sculptures they made. So in some ways, it's computerized stop motion animation, which is kind of interesting. But I really did like it, and the music was so. Oh, I mean, it was just beautiful. Again, it's taking some inspiration from local indigenous cultures in Chile and Patagonia, which Chile does control part of Patagonia. I'm not going to get into a full geography lesson there, but those are just my thoughts on the episode. There's more I could discuss. I could really discuss, the history of indigenous cultures in the Americas, but I'm not qualified to discuss that, so I think I will end this video here. But my final concluding thoughts is this was a beautiful show with great music, great acting, great animation. But those are just my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching this video. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to like, upvote, and share the video. Also consider subscribing and following the channel if you haven't done so yet, and to ring that bell on YouTube to get notified of when new videos release. The link tree in the description links to all my social media. Check it out if you are interested. And once again, thank you for watching, and as always, have a good day, a good night, wherever you are. May the Force be with you always.